go. Another episode of Self-Claimed Geniuses. Self-Claimed Geniuses. This is a Pan-African show. Pan-African. That doesn't mean I'm racist. That means I'm just pro my people. Okay? So we back. And this show is about, it's a lot about my views, my opinions. You know what I'm saying? A higher perspective of things. I don't see things like the average human being. I don't live my life like an average human being. So with that being said, we're going to get right into it.
What are your inputs on religion? Do you believe that religion is false?
Okay. Religion. What is my inputs on it? Okay. So if I'm telling you that I believe that the black woman is God, that's basically telling you that I have no religion. I have no religion. Religion is made to divide the people. Race. They tell you racism this, racism that. They tell you racism is this. So now they divided the colors. So now that they got the colors divided, they got to use the second thing is religion. So we not only I can't have those two races sticking together, I'm gonna divide them, and within I don't even want the races to stick together. So I'm gonna divide the races with religion. So now you have religion. Now you got some people want to be Baptists, some people want to be holiness, some people want to be Methodist. Like inside of one religion, inside of Christianity, you have all these sub-religions inside of it. The three major big religions that they push upon, that's popular with the humans, with the human race, being a Muslim, being a Christian, and Judaism. We're going to talk about Christianity, though, since that's where I came from in the upbringing. My upbringing was Christianity. Like, they were teaching us about Jesus and Moses and Abraham and all these Judas, all these people out this book. Oldest artifact that they found was the remains of the black woman, of a black woman. That's the oldest artifact ever found was the remain of a black woman. Okay. If any of these people would have existed, just by how we are as people, like if you go to church, if your pastor did great things for the community, like us today, you would never let your pastor die in vain. Like you would make sure that his name live on. You would make sure he got a grave site, he got a headstone. Like people would know that whoever this person was, like Martin Luther King. No matter what, his name is going to live on and on and on and on and on. So 2 million years from now, they're going to know who Martin Luther King was. Okay? Any other person that does anything great, they're going to know who they was. And they're going to have remains to be able to prove that this person actually existed. But with none of these people in the Bible having a grave site, no one in the Bible that has a name has a grave site. Okay, and if you don't want to deal with the grave site thing, okay, deal with this. Okay, Jesus, so-called, went and brought a guy back to life named Lazarus, right? He brought him back to life. He was dead for 3 days. Jesus went into the tomb, brought him back to life. He was already stinking in there. They told Jesus, don't go in there. He stank. He dead. Just let him be. We want him back, but damn, he's stinking already. So Jesus said, calm down, chill out. I'm going to go in here and holler. Jesus goes into the cave, removes all the bricks from the tomb. All with words, he raised Lazarus out the bed. Just by saying his name, Lazarus raised up out the bed. Okay. Now, with Lazarus being the person that was dead for 3 days, and then came back before Jesus even decided to, I'm finna do the same thing Lazarus did. Before he even decided to bite on Lazarus, Lazarus already had did it. Lazarus had already been dead for 3 days and rose up. So, why Lazarus ain't got no book in the Bible? Because I would want to talk to the mother that already been, because everybody's so scared of death. So when you, your mindset, when you want to talk to the person that actually been dead for 3 days, and now he just back amongst the people, chilling, at that time, now granted, if this shit would have happened, Jesus would have been popping too now. He would have been popping. He would have had followers. But Lazarus being the person that died, Lazarus supposed to have at least a book in the Bible. At least. Because then you could actually ask Lazarus, hey, where you went? You know what I'm saying? How was it? Did you go to heaven? Or was you burning in hell? You should be able to actually ask Lazarus that. And the Bible only speaks little about this, but it was another little boy that brought him back to life too. And then I say this about Jesus, just the story, just by reading the book. Mary was pregnant with Jesus for 9 months. 9 months. But I had a son. My son was born in 7 months. My son was a premature baby. He was born in 7 months. 7, 8 months. So that means my son more popping than Jesus is, because it took Jesus 9 months to get here. My son did this shit in 7, 8 months. So, do that mean make my son better than Jesus? I don't know. These just questions that run through my mind. These just questions that run through my mind. Don't pay me no mind. Don't pay me no mind. It's just, I think too logical to deal with a book. And then for this book, it has people defending this book who never read the book. I'm talking about never picked up this book and read it. I done read this book, I say 3 times, from front to back. I done read this book 3 times. Every word in it. And I would challenge any person that was in this religion. If you read this book as like it's a real book, as if you would read the real book from front cover to back cover. If you read that book like that and you tell me that you still fuck with what's in that book, I guarantee you that you won't still be a Christian after you read that book. Because it's too many, especially if you read it with an open mind because it's too many contradictions in the book. It's too many. It's too many. It'll make you crazy. It'll make you crazy. And that's why it's so many people that think they sane and think this is going to help them. And they run to church every Sunday, crying at the altar, trying to give their problems, trying to pray that somebody take their problems away when they got the power themselves to take their own problems away. You can take your own problems away. But you can't be getting on your knees and praying to a sky daddy to come down here and come on, man. Especially the black woman. And that's what fills these churches up every Sunday. You have some weak-minded men that want to go in there and do that, but mostly it's the black woman that's in their church. And they do that because they praying on your they are praying on your vulnerability. They know that you are a kind people. They know that you're easy. Just say it like this. A black woman can see someone do something bad to someone, and they will feel for it. But just say the same person that they saw doing bad, is getting bad done to them, and they will still feel for that person. Like, that's what they praying on. They praying on your ability to forgive, your ability to be compassionate, open heart, having an open heart. They pray on that because they don't want you to know who you is. They want to keep you looking to the sky. When if you was to able just look inside, you will have all the answers to all your problems. You can fix all your problems if you go within yourself and stop expecting someone to do something for you. Don't expect no one to do nothing for you. Like, know that you can change your problems for yourself. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then they tell you that you have some people running the church. And we all know this person. We all know this person. Person run the church every week. But you know they are the meanest, nastiest person on earth. Like, you know they do some mean, hateful stuff. But they be in the church praising this Lord with the best of them. Speaking in tongues and everything. Giving a bottom dollar to this pastor. But then walk right out that church. They family member, they granddaughter, grandson, a random person on the street can say, hey, you give me some money, give me something to eat. Or grandmama, or can I borrow $100? Or whatever, like, without I don't do that. I don't get no money. Like, or you'll be scared of all that person. Now you got the Lord on your side. Because you've been in this church, you praising. But if this random person coming up to you, now you're scared. But you got the Lord on your side, though. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're not connected. And it shouldn't be taking you, like, it shouldn't take you 50, 60 years to figure this out. You shouldn't be reading no book. Bird, listen, if it was any other book in this world that it took you this long to figure out, like, they would call you illiterate. You would be, like, considered a retard to, no offense. But you would be considered slow amongst the people if it took you this long to figure out a book. It shouldn't take you this long. It shouldn't take you no longer than a week to read this book, like, comprehend what this book is saying, and interpret it in your own words. It shouldn't take you too long. It don't take you all this time to be going to church and the pastor, he reading the book like it's a prescription book. Oh, you sad? Hold on, let me give you something. Okay, I'm gonna give you Leviticus 29:8. Yeah, read that. And come see me next Sunday. But make sure you have that 10% at the door. Because next time, I'm taking tithes at the door because I'm going to stop letting y'all sitting down and y'all ain't got them tithes. But I'm just saying, though, this shit's serious. Like, that shit, that's what's keeping our people back. And people run to it as if it's going to help us. But that's what's really holding us back. Because once we able to recognize self, know thyself, that is what is wrote on the headstones at the pyramids. The pyramids that's in Kemet as in Egypt, that's what's wrote on the heads, inside the pyramids. Know thyself. Because our ancestors knew that they was going to try to manipulate their words to make you think that their words are talking about something that's outside of you. Yeah, they used a lot of pictures to interpret things, feelings, and emotions that you may have, but don't get caught up in what the damn picture that they use. Look at the message behind the picture. They are interpreting something like, okay, inside the pyramids, on the scale of Ma'at, it has a feather on one side and the heart, your heart on the other side. Now, do you really think that your heart is going to be cut out and set on the scale and weighed against the feather? No, but they saying the deeds that you do in your life, the ups and downs that you have in your life, you're allowed to have downs in your life. You're allowed to do bad things. But just know you never, I don't give a damn, you forgive. You don't get forgiven for the bad that you do. Just make sure that your good outweigh your bad. You don't get forgiven that you did bad shit. Just make sure that your good outweigh your bad. Because your good is what lightens your heart. Bad weigh your heart down. So if you have that's why they put a feather on the other side. Because they saying your heart should be as light as a feather. Because it's saying your bad should not outweigh your good. I'm saying if you live by that one thing alone, do good, not bad. Do unto others as you were out them to do unto you. Treat them the way you want to be treated. We don't need no book to tell us this. We don't need no book to tell you not to kill your parents. We don't need no book you already know these things. You don't need no book to tell you how to eat or how to, you know what I'm saying? Like a baby come out of his mama's womb knowing everything that it needs to know about this earth. But we, being so arrogant to think that we know everything, we teach that baby what we know and it delete all the other things that baby already knows to live on this earth. The baby come out the womb and just because it can't talk, we're thinking that, oh, she can't even talk yet. That baby dumb. Oh man, that baby, that's a child. I ain't on no child level. Like, that's arrogant. That's being arrogant. That baby is the closest thing to the universe than way closer than what we is. And it's closer than any other thing on this earth because it just came from the cosmos. If you lay a baby on this mama's stomach, no matter what, that baby is gonna crawl to the titty. That baby knows who its mother is. It already knows this. It's just like if you buy a computer. That computer already comes with programs on it to run that computer. Then you have to download it to personalize your computer to make this computer able to assess the things that I wanted to assess, like access. My bad. I'm gonna download these programs on it. That's exactly what you're doing to your child as he grow older. Oh, I'm gonna teach my child God, because don't nobody come into this earth already pre-coded with God. God is a taught thing, and if no one teach some person what God is, you would never know. Because God is not G-O-D. God, that is nothing. That is nothing. Like, that is something somebody told you about, and you just put all your belief into it. But it's really not nothing. Yeah, but God, that's a funny thing. Let me tell you about this. All right. God. If it's a higher being that gave us life and created all of this, would you think that means that we never met it? If he created this, that means we never met it, whatever it may be, to be calling it a name. It hasn't came down to communicate with nobody and say, hey man, what's up? Shit, what's that? My name God. What? My name God. Oh, okay, straight up. Hey, I'm finna give you something what you tell everybody in the world. Bet, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. Like, that ain't how that works. Man, think about it. Would God exist without your thoughts? With all our thoughts. With all our thoughts, God won't exist. If we didn't have a thought of what God just say if somebody see G-O-D. G-O-D. Just say if someone sees that and you didn't know how to read that word, like, what the fuck? Like, you can't, no, that word don't make no sense. Like, you can't, like, God, like, you know what I'm saying? Just say you didn't know how to pronounce that word. That those 3 letters was never put in order to make a word. Somebody could have told you your God's name was Major. I'm just playing. But as for me, in my personal opinion, I'm gonna call God the person that I see doing God-like things. The sex that I see doing God-like things. I never seen no man in this world, bro, birth a child. Yeah, we walk around with sperm, with the fertilizer. Yeah, we are. We walk around with the fertilizer. But that's another way where it's telling you that, hey, I made you for balance. It was made to be balanced. It's made to, like, I don't want to give, like, listen, let me see how I can say this. A woman don't got all the control, because just say if a woman get corrupt and she had control of birthing her own kids, she can birth the child she want. Okay? That's like having the lock and the key. You got total control, but it balanced the thing out by, I'm gonna give this man the muscle and the fertilizer to give to this woman for her to birth the nation, so they can never delete each other. They gonna always need each other. Okay? So I'm gonna get her, since her body is more delicate and is able to hold a whole another human being, I'm gonna give her the capability to do that. I'm gonna give him the muscle to be able to defend this person. I'm gonna give him the willpower to be able to educate himself enough to be head of household. That's the balance. But, like, some people, I might sound crazy, because you got some people that's caught up in Jesus Christ and the Lord and Bible. You got some people that's caught up in all that, and it ain't no change. They gonna have to change for themselves. So I'm not trying to change anyone's mind. You free to do whatever you may please. I don't want you to think. I just want you to use your brain or use your mind. We all think our mind is up here in our brain, but your mind is over your whole body. It's the atmosphere over your body. You can, if you rub your hand over if you take your hand like this, and then you rub, don't touch your hand, but rub it real close to your hand. You can feel your mind. Your mind is the thing that you feel. Like, I'm not touching my hand, but I can feel something over my hand. It's magnetism. Like, we have a force field around our body. That's why you feel it when someone is getting too close. If someone get too close to you and they get inside your magnetic field, you can feel them. You can feel them. If somebody was standing behind you, once they get to a certain point, they ain't got to touch you. You gonna feel them. You gonna, what? Like, that's not a coincidence. That ain't like, that's your mind. That's the mind. Like, you can feel your mind is a magnetic force field around the whole body. So use your mind, people. Use your mind. I'll be back at y'all next weekend with a whole nother set of views and topics. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's a growing channel. We're trying to create a bigger audience, and we're going to try to grow this thing to the stratosphere, people. If anyone don't agree with what my views is, hey, feel free to tell that comment section up. Yeah, hey, we all got freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? Freedom of opinions. So, hey, I ain't gonna feel no type of way if you express it in the comment box. So, Do what you feel you need to do. I'm going to do what I feel I need to do and say. This Self-Claimed Geniuses, and we out. Peace.